This is 10 News Weekend.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's now 7:23. It's been less than a week since the healthcare reform law kicked off, and already scammers are standing by trying to steal personal information. One of the reasons, there's a lot of confusion out there about the health insurance exchanges, so it's very important people pay extra attention while signing up for coverage, especially online. Tech expert Dan Thompson joins me this morning to talk about how you can avoid getting your identity stolen. Thanks for being here on a Sunday morning. Why should people consider their identity as a type of currency? Let's start with that.
Oh man, great question. So typically speaking, you know, when these scammers are out there, personal information is kind of the thing that they're after these days, because it's easy once you have that information to steal someone's identity. Obviously with your identity comes lots of credit, so you know it's actually, you know, better than, you know, stealing your wallet on the street or something, because now I've got, you know, potentially a lot more money at my fingertips.
Absolutely. And what makes the new healthcare law or rollout an easy target for scammers?
Well, so if you've been paying attention, and I know you as a reporter have been, there's lots of confusion about what is Obamacare, what got cut, what didn't get cut, and so along with that confusion are people just saying, oh, well, you know, do I get free health care? And if I do, you know, where do I get that from? And so scammers are jumping all over this, sending people emails saying, hey, sign up here for the free health insurance, which is obviously not what Obamacare is, and trying to steal people away from the healthcare.gov website, which is the marketplace that the government has set up. And so, I mean, it's really, I mean, frankly, we see this all the time. I mean, with the Syria incident, there was lots of scams around that. Pretty much anything that pops up that people are interested in but maybe don't have all the information for, scammers love that kind of stuff. So this is just prime for the pickings, and it will be for some time as we continue to learn what it is and isn't.
I want to really quick talk about we just put up a graphic there. 51% of Americans don't even understand how it will impact their families, and 1/3 of the public says, you know, they have done some research, but only 1/3 of the entire country.
Yeah, I know. I would imagine that if you and I sat here and had a conversation about it, that we would both get details wrong. So, I mean, it's just such a big thing right now, and I mean, you know how it is. Both sides are very polarized about it and are spewing what their agenda is, and then we're left in the middle going, okay, well, what's the truth here?
And what does it mean for me?
Exactly.
And let's talk about how these scams work. Break it down for us.
Sure, yeah. So a lot of times what the scammers do, and it's not just limited to websites, by the way, they're calling people. So what they want you to do is they want you to think, hey, I've got something free, but you have to act now, and then what I need from you is your personal information. And what I mean by that is like your birth date, your social security number, you know, your name and address. Never give that stuff out over the phone to someone who's called you. Also, don't provide that stuff over the internet if it's an email you've received. Obviously, you know, when you sign up for insurance, you'll have to give them that, but this should be a conversation that you have initiated, not that somebody has initiated with you. So that's the big kind of differentiator. And again, you know, if it's a deal that seems too good to be true, or if it's something you have to act right this second, it's generally, you know, there's generally something going on there that you need to be wary of. I mean, it's like the old infomercial, right? I mean, there's always something that you need to buy like right this second or you won't get the deal. It's the same thing all across the board with every scam out there. Obviously,
there are tons of websites out there. So maybe people who aren't so internet savvy, let's talk about SSL and what that means.
Right, yeah, so SSL is basically what keeps our communication over the internet secure. So most people know it as the little lock. So when you browse to a website, there's a little lock in the browser. You always want to make sure that you have that. If you go to a website selling health insurance and you get that big red screen that says this website can't be verified, close that browser and don't go there.
Red flag.
Exactly. So you'll want to go to websites that use SSL. Again, it's that little lock or the green bar across the top that lets you know everything's checked out okay. And again, you know, that's just for your security. Hopefully people aren't ripping, you know, your information out of the stream as you're buying insurance.
And real quick, a couple of maybe tips that you can have for some internet users out there, or just anybody in general, to protect themselves against phishing. Some of them being, of course, download the most up-to-date version of your internet browser.
That's right. Yeah, you always want to have the most up-to-date browser. You want to keep your your computer up to date just in general. But again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you've gotten an email in your inbox, I mean, the government just doesn't do that, right? They don't send emails to people about Obamacare. So, be very, very wary about stuff like that. And again, if you have questions, just stop what you're doing, go to healthcare.gov, which is the official website, and maybe verify, or even pick up the phone and call the insurance company that you think you're dealing with and say, hey, is this legitimate or is this not legitimate? And just kind of go from there.
Again, the biggest thing, of course, if you initiate that conversation, and then it's probably a little bit more legitimate than on the opposite end if they contact you through email.
Exactly.
All right, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, crazy weather has swept through the U.S. over